someone getting more abuse from Saints fans than myself, so it was a luxury for me having the new next to
The new Sam Tompkins, Luke Littler, Luke the new double world champion. We're about to kick off here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Will Luke Littler go home smiling? Will the Saints have anything in response in their first game in Super League under Paul Rowley? You'll find out now in the company of John Wells and Dave Woods.
Thank you, Brian. Two 19-year-olds fated as local heroes tonight. One on the field, one on the terraces. I suspect one's a little quicker than the other one. It has all been about Warrington so far. Do we see a response here, John Wells, from St Helens in the second?
Well, I expect they're going to try. Look, I think one thing they've got to address, not just the points on the field, but just the attitude. I think they've got to try and match what Warrington have done. If I read some stats out at half-time, we looked at those. 60% possession, 95% completion, 21 out of 22 sets. Just 3 missed tackles and a solitary error from Warrington. The picture perfect first half.
Simply on the charge as Warrington get through this opening set as Curry takes it on again, gets his arms through the tackle, but can't promote the ball, but did nick about 5 or 6 yards further than he possibly had the right to. Sneed the kick and the chase is on. Wellesby picks up, looking to return, looking for a little bit of a glimpse of daylight in that Warrington defence, non-apparent. So let's hear from Jenna about what was said in the dressing rooms at half-time. Jenna.
Yeah, I can tell you it takes a lot to get to Paul Rowley. He just mentioned the 2 words, discipline and ruck. I said, can you get back in this? He said, always. Sam Burgess didn't give a lot away. All he said was that the game is not over and for his players not to put their cue in the ruck. Back to you, Woodsy.
Interesting night for Lee Breers, who's sitting alongside Paul Rowley, isn't it? His St Helens cap on as a former Saints player, but very much a former Warrington player as well. This was his club, wasn't it, for many years? Penalty here for St Helens.
Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because he tried his best to George Williams. I think Walmsley was so dominant in the tackle. Williams, you can see, does try and get out of the way, but he's almost rolls away from the ruck, but into the dummy half in Darryl Clark. Yeah, by the book, that's a penalty.
Play the ball, mate. Play the ball.
It's a play the ball.
Okay, play the ball.
Everybody on the field thought it was a penalty. It was odd to see Alex Walmsley walking up with ball in hand for a penalty, but Warrington was certainly foxed because they were lined up expecting a kick for touch. But anyway, we go on. Shorrocks, no look pass. Whitley, as you can hear from the referee, is dominated. Shorrocks rocking and rolling closer to where they want to be. Didn't have many situations like this in the first half. What can they make of it? Hastings with a twist and a turn. He'll be looking to lead by example. 200th career appearance tonight for Jackson Hastings. Saylor. There's a bit of a dart and a dash, but sandwiched between a couple of Primrose and Blue. It's another set of 6. Holding on too long, and St Helens now have a platform. Walmsley, ruggedly, close. Just throws his defender out of the way. Short again. Warrington's defence has to be tight, and it is. Clark spins it back. Hastings now. Little double pump from him. In fact, he kept the ball in hand, and Wellesby was taken off the ball. Yep, referee gives a penalty. Wellesby hit on suspicion. Saints get the pen.
Well, it's a chance for them to reset. And I tell you, Jackson Hastings getting caught in possession far too many times. You know, his role really here is to put people into space. Finally, he's the playmaker. I mean, he's been caught in possession a dozen times already today.
There's blood. I think the referee just explaining, and St Helens fans suggesting that this is being put on, but there is blood there, so he has to stop the clock. It has been dealt with, and another set. Boy, does St Helens need something from here. Hastings goes out. Saylor adds a little bit of electricity. Taken on again, but Robertson held short. Warrington's defence comes flying out. Walmsley tries to straighten them up. Puts them back on the goal line. Clark now dodges to that right-hand side. Saylor, Shorrocks helps it on its way again. Here comes Host. Bustling in, not going too far. Hastings looking for the long ball, finds cross angles in. This could be quite a finish. He's got over the line, but I don't think he's got it down. Yeah, held up. Back 10 metres. Well, he beat 2, but 2 more came.
Yeah, good footwork. Got himself in a try-scoring position, but repelled. Kai Taylor-Ray in there, Thewlis in there.
Hastings, Shorrocks. Now it's with Wellesby. Big ball over the top. It's a stand and wait now for Felt to collect. Now he tries to build momentum. Warrington's defenders scrambling all over him. Again, they reach the last. 2-3 back-to-back sets here. Nothing to show so far. Wellesby, pick up off his feet by Whitley. Hastings the kick to the corner. Up goes Cross. Ball goes to ground. Referee has a look and he says knock on. Cross is complaining that he was manhandled in mid-air without the ball, but it goes Warrington's way.
Yeah. Cross just not able to gather in cleanly. Saints have really tried to up the tempo a little bit, but there's not an awful lot of game plan in there. We've hammered this short side, this near side a couple of times late in the tackle count through Hastings and Wellesby. I think the defence has done really well.
Perplexed is the best word to describe the look on Paul Worley's face just a few moments ago there. Oh, that ball has lost, and Saints have it back again. Can they build again now? MacDonald drags his side closer. Whitley's here at dummy half. Shorrocks, Saylor, and now it's Hastings, and a hand on that, an important hand on that as well. But it has just given St Helens another set of 6. This is the best spell of pressure Saints have had in the game so far.
Yeah, and it is a test and an examination of the Warrington Wolves defence. But Josh, look, he does exactly the right thing. He doesn't do that, then it's a walk in trying the corner for Kyle Felt. So, look, roll the dice, back your defence, defending up for another 30 seconds.
So Hastings will feed here. Clark picks up behind the back of the scrum. Saylor now will carry it on. It's Wellesby and Dodge back on the inside by Robertson. Warrington back on their line again. Hastings to Shorrocks. They've run out of numbers on this left-hand side. Shorrocks will just take it in, a solo mission. Clark. Just you could hear the effort coming in there, couldn't you, from Jacob Host as he took it forward. Clark again. Saylor, and almost slipping through, but his knees were grabbed from beneath him. Clark, Host. Hastings again, the kick to the corner. MacDonald is on the chase, but it is a hand from Williams that saves the day. Warrington get the drop.
Yeah, that's a much better kick. Really challenging kick. Williams had to play at that. He got on his bike, got his head down, and snaked out his right arm to stop Nene MacDonald from opening the scoring for St Helens. And you're right, it's a real period of sustained pressure here. You do feel like they need to come away this last sort of 5 minutes with something to show for it.
Well, interestingly, Saints have gone short on their 2 dropouts so far tonight. Warrington a bit more depth off the boot of Sneed. Just gives possession for certainty back to St Helens, but gives them more area to cover with ball in hand. Warrington backing their defence. Clark, Hastings, Wicker, upended. Williams, the menacing man on that occasion. Another set, George Williams not square. So the pressure just keeps mounting, but it's also mounting on St Helens because this kind of field position, and for so long, if they do not come away with points, and maybe a little bit of energy seeps away. Wolves lost the ball, and for all that they've been there for an age, they've rarely looked like scoring.
Well, that's it. The Warrington Wolves have grown another foot now. And that's 5 or 6 consecutive sets they defended. And it's a ball that's rifled with probably a little bit too much juice on it for Alex Walmsley.
It's a look that says it all. Jack Hughes is the latest scorer for Lee, who now lead 14-2. It was 10-2 at half-time, that game. Warrington looking to plunder some yards again. Perfect night so far for Sam Burgess, isn't it? He's seen his side razzle-dazzle in the first half, turn it on, and
well, just
they've been under pressure and really worked hard.
We're in a brilliant position here. Take a look around you at the stands. I mean, you know, there is not an empty seat in this house, and they've been treated to an A1 performance from the Warrington Wolves so far. Both sides of the ball.
This is a more than decent set as well from deep inside their own half. Philbin on a big play takes his team midway inside St Helens territory, and Sneed will look to finish with one of his trademark kicks. But Hastings has caught it, and there's a bit of space here. Saints have it back. It's McDonald. Clark to cross. How do Saints break this up now? How do Saints change this?
Well, I mean, I think they just need to find their identity. I think they've been not allowed to get into any kind of rhythm whatsoever. You know what's when Saints are at their best, and that's ad-line stuff. They've not been able to generate any sort of momentum around the ruck, and despite the sizable figures they've got in that middle unit. And you put that down to just how well Warrington have been defending.
Well, he's beating his own man to the ball as well here. Taylor Ray, and immediately offering a threat. Not at half-time. His dad was a decent player as well. People may remember Jermaine Ray, the Jamaican international, who played at Hunslet in York and Keighley in London, and Felix has made the mistake here.
Yeah, first lapse of concentration. And it's a simple put down, and again it's prime position for St Helens, but look carefully in this set and just what the position they take up. Now, very often a side will get, this is a typical attacking settlement. What would you do under Paul Rowley? They've had a pre-season to work at this, situational stuff on a training field, 20 metres out, left hand upright, scrum play. I want to see which points they hit for plays 1, 2 and 3 here.
This now is Robertson. Surely they have to come up with something here, St Helens, for the good of their own mindset. 8 minutes and 21 seconds of this second half, St Helens have had the ball, and most of it has been here. Hastings trying to shuffle it away, and finding again, and finding a way. Wellesby dragging himself over. St Helens finally make a breakthrough. Is this the start of something? St Helens are on the board.
And it's that situational stuff. They would have gone through plays like this. They do entire sets, get themselves in a good position. What does it look like from the 20-metre line? They get the opportunity because of that mistake. They go back to the left-hand upright on the third play, and the disguised Jack Wellesby, who never ceases to amaze me just how strong he is in the tackle. Deceptively strong, brushes off Sneed, carries Walker, and opens Saints' scoring. But there's no doubt about that. That is a training ground move. Open the field up, back to the left-hand upright, and then Jack Wellesby from a blind position, trailing Jackson Hastings, and they get a much-needed try, much-needed points on the board.
They're just having a look at this.
Time off.
Chris Kennel is
Official
deciding
review.
he wants a longer look here.
The video referee's looking, he's reviewing the try.
Yeah, but what are you checking the try?
He's looking at the lead runner first.
Checking for obstruction now. Let's have a look at this.
We're checking the lead runner of David Clemmer. Okay, the responsibility of Clemmer is to find space. He doesn't, he runs directly at the chest of Kalefi Tanganoa. Tanganoa is then materially disadvantaged. He can't have an effect on the tackle on Wellsbeck. I'm happy I do the angle I need. I've made my decision.
Well, it sounds like that brief moment of joy is going to be snatched away from St Helens. Remember, every try is checked in the background under the new rules this year. And if the video referee decides he's seen something he doesn't like, he will give that message out. It is no try, it's an obstruction, and therefore it's a Warrington penalty.
Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about that. Look who makes initial contact here. Tanganoa goes at the Saints player. It's clever, isn't it? The Warrington defender initiates the contact there. Clever's in the way. Tanganoa initiates the tackle. I think Warrington have got away with one there.
No try, so try again. The message for St Helens. They remain frustrated. Straightforward effort. Down the middle again. One back. Warrington rapidly up to the halfway line. Crowder's on the field now as well. Walker. Tackle 5. Taylor spun to the ground. With a rattler for him. Sneed sticking it up there. Phelps. Oh, could you just leave? He had to be good there, didn't he? In the face of the challenge from Toby King.
Two players well renowned for their aerial abilities. And it's a good take, committed jump from Kyle Felt.
Sailor wanted a quick tap, but the referee says no. Saints through Sailor. White will play just short of the halfway line. Shorrocks across the line. It comes to MacDonald. And he's grabbed a hold of by Hopewati. With a search. Lomax on the field as well, operating out of dummy half. Quick hands patted along. It's not the cleanest of passing movement, but it does end up with Felt. Well, we saw an angle, a passage down the middle. Hastings on the last, will hoist it. Sailors on the chase again here, and that's a mid-air collision, and the referees are judged. It was an attempted tackle in mid-air, not a challenge for the ball. And so Warrington get another penalty. Yeah,
got himself in the right position, Tristan Sailor, but not a genuine challenge to take possession. He ended up just careering into Kai Taylor-Ray, didn't he? Taylor-Ray off the ground. And there's got to be an element of protection to players there in the air, and he's just not there fast enough. Tristan Sailor.
Referee's just having a word again here.
Captain's challenge. St Helens are challenging the on-field decision of a tackle in the air.
St Helens challenging that penalty.
Yeah. That's fine, mate. No worries. Yeah, he'll look at that.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. St Helens are challenging the decision of a tackle in the air. Support the ball on the foot. If we just go one more frame, please. Okay, yeah, everyone is onside. If we run it through now. Run it through on this angle, please. So we're looking... Okay, there's no issue there. If we get a tight-in shot now, please. Okay, is this a tackle in the air, or is it just two players competing for the same ball? If we go to the other camera 1, please. We're looking at Tristan Saylor. Okay, he only ever has eyes for the ball. If we then cut to camera 7, please. Saylor is always looking at the ball, and this is just two players competing for the same ball. If we then go to camera 5, run it through now. So it's not a tackle in the air, and then the ball is lost forward by Warrington. I'm happy I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Well, it's a wise challenge from St Helens.
Yeah, some good video refereeing there. Good angles. You convinced me, Jack. Genuine challenge for the ball. Well explained. Successful challenge by St Helens.
Biggest roar of the night from the Saints fans. Suddenly they're offered an opportunity again here. Knock on, so it'll be a scrum down. But St Helens on.
Yeah, the more times you look at that, the more obvious it becomes, doesn't it? Tristan Saylor is competing. Well explained by the video referee. St Helens again, right. Prime attacking position. Wellesby play 3, I'm going to go here.
Oh, here's a play. Saylor suddenly puts it down, the ball goes in, and Saylor runs across to this left-hand side to try and create numbers, but by the time it gets to Manny MacDonald, there's 4 or 5 waiting, but they're offside, Warrington.
No, wait.
Some players always try to do the fast tap.
What do you make? Tap
Never allowed to. They're never allowed to. 6 plays to go. We've said it before, we'll say it again. St Helens need something, and they need it quickly. 24 minutes left to play. Still plenty of time in the game. Wellesby's had one false start. Can't get close on that occasion. Another set of 6, Lomax, showing all his experience. Going in at a very square bunch of defenders. Dropped off here for right. Lomax. Shorrocks across to Hastings, and quick hands, and MacDonald can't step away, but now he can. Bounces off a couple of defenders, comes back to the middle. Clemmer picking up the pieces. Warrington desperate to get players to the left side of their defence, because that's where St Helens are coming now through Walmsley. And has he reached? Has he got there? The referee clearly thinks no try.
I have no try. Looking to confirm tackles complete. Double movement to the line, please, Chris.
Double movement is what they're looking at. This could be a painful outcome for St Helens, because it could be a penalty against them.
Yeah, go from here now.
I give it you. I give the mark, not square. Oh, did you give it him? Yeah. I can see it, I give it you.
Okay, so we're checking for a potential double movement. If we run it through now, please. Worms is in possession. Yates and Tanganoa. Yeah, if we go to camera 2, please.
Tackle 3, so another one.
Camera 1, please. Okay, so if we run this through full speed now, we'll watch it first on full speed. Then if we go back again, please. Okay, so, yeah, go through now, through slow. Okay, at this point, tackle is complete and Walmsley is well short of the line. He then promotes his arm and the ball, and that's the only reason that the ball gets to the line. It's a double movement. I'm happy, I've viewed the angles I need, I've made my decision.
So twice now they have tested it to the limits, but each time they've come up short, and it will be a penalty for Warrington. No try. That's something to change in the last couple of seconds.
There's a little bit of frustration here, do you think, building with St Helens? Alex Walmsley gets close, but not close enough. And as Chris Kendall explained, just tackle complete, tries to promote the arm. I'm not sure he got there anyway.
Okay, boys, let's go.
least they're getting closer in this second half than they were in the first. But the growing frustration for St Helens, and we saw it a lot last year, is ball in the opponent's 20 and failing to convert that into points. It's only the first night. Not draw any ultimate conclusions from this, of course. By the way, Ben Curry's been off for an HIA, but he has passed it and he's back on the field again now. Walker, this is Curry. Here comes Burke. Sneed. Williams. It looks as though it should be too deep, and yes it is, only just. Brave effort from Josh Smith to try and get it back for one of those miracle tries.
Yeah, he came herring after it, didn't he? Meanwhile, Felt 7 tackles set and the straight out to Jackson Hastings. He's hauled down low by Matt Sneed.
And of Sneed echoing around the stadium on the back of that defensive effort. Lomax. Lee now leading by 20 points to 8 against Leeds. Lomax. Lomax again. Now Wormsley a bit of a rampage, trying to build it up a bit. St Helens get their points, and there are still 20 minutes to go, but he's hurt himself in the making of that try.
Well, it's a classy try, and he's a bit of bother here, is Jack Welsby. He's clutching at the shoulder. He didn't get a very good, clear shot of just maybe whether he's extended that in the act of scoring, the old AC joint getting a workout potentially, but the try build-up, just a shift on the outs, shift of the hips on the outside. Brilliant finish in the corner. Yeah, he just sneaks on the outside of Liam Byrne, doesn't he? And then pins the ears back, goes for the corner, and he just extends that right shoulder, doesn't he, as he hits the floor. Look at that subtle shift of the hips. Classy stuff, really classy stuff from Jack Welsby.
Not that long ago we were talking about Jack Welsby and some of the style that we've been talking about Taylor Ray tonight. Still only 24 years of age is Jack. Such a senior star in so many ways these days. Hastings puts it well away. First attempt of the night. It remains at 18 points to 4.
Well, it
remains a 3-score lead and a worrying sign for St.
Yeah, that's the most significant picture. These are great pictures. That's a silky try, a classy try from a really classy player. Just that shift on the outside. Spots Liam Byrne, middle forward, defending out on the edge. Shows him a clean pair of heels. But it's this act here, and as it goes down to ground the ball, the shoulder comes up in an awkward position, and he's been moved across, and he's supporting the shoulder there. It's definitely that's a shoulder injury that really sore.
Owen Dagnall has come on the field while this has been happening. That is a very painful walk, isn't it? Into the St Helens fans.
You know, so the last act for Jack Welsby was maybe to give St Helens a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, Dagnall on the field, and my initial reading of this, and John, you're better placed than me, but it looks as though MacDonald has gone to full-back. With Dagnall on the wing and Cross in the centres. Lomax picks up, Sherrick takes it on. Lomax again, interesting development in his career, isn't it? Playing as a reserve dummy half. This is MacDonald, who's chiming in that full-back's position. Lomax again, wants to hurry things. Shorrocks, and now Saylor. Saylor putting the skip on. It's out to Robertson. Up in the air from Hastings. Checks his arm. Saylor! Saylor! Oh! Where did he come from? He came at such pace. Warrington, open mouth, looking to the skies. Saylor suddenly appears, punching the air in delight.
That's an absolute stunner. It's a stunner from Saylor. And it's right underneath the sizable travelling support from St Helens. Well, the last 60 seconds, this game's been turned on its head. Look at Saylor, herring through. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant stuff. And what a riposte from the Red V. Jackson Hastings lost the ball, and he gives his man every chance to get underneath. It's a clean catch, bobble at the last second. But that's a try, and how important is that? Hastings will knock this over. We've got a 10-point ball game, and we've got a grandstand finish, Dave.
Well, better than that from St Helens' point of view. We've got an 8-point ball game, because Hastings sticks it in. 18 points to 10. Suddenly there's belief at the far end of the ground. St Helens have got momentum. They're in the mood.
That's so good. That is so good from Tristan Saylor. The kick from Hastings puts right on the spot. Now has to pick his way through Warrington defenders. You look at the response, look at the reaction from the crowd as well. There's life in them yet.
Well, we talk about 30 years of Super League, and we talked about how Warrington have seemed to have got the edge over Saints over the last 7 games they played, but Saints and Warrington fans will remember a period whenever these two met, St Helens always won, and they always seem to pinch it very, very late when they might have been on the losing end. Are they about to recreate that? Lots to come this weekend. Hull FC against Bradford tomorrow, as is Wakefield against Toulouse. The first sight of the new French club in Super League, Cass Wigan on Sunday as well. And don't forget the Bench podcast every Monday. But the Friday night lights are blazing bright here. St Helens suddenly have belief.
We've seen some cracking tries already, haven't we, in the games we witnessed so far in round 1. There's some belters here this evening.
Houston kicks away. There's a little bit of afters going on between him and Curry. Not sure what that was all about. But Warrington's struggling now to get out of this end. They've really not had position at all, have they, in the second half? So dominant in the first period. Just restricted St Helens to mere scraps. But in terms of ball in hand at the right end of the field, it has been St Helens' half so far. Pick up from Walker. Square in a scamper, not square, not a centre six. Good play from the dummy half.
Yeah, really good for Walker, really smart. Now, is this the catalyst for something? Can Warrington get back in the groove?
This is Byrne. Super League debut tonight, of course. Williams trying to cut them open down the middle. Still a free place to go. Warrington looking for a settler. Sneed looking it back for the scurrying effort of Tanganoa. Here's Curry. Williams. There's some width here, provided by the super flying winger, Josh Dinas. Aerodynamic perfection. Warrington back in the comfort zone. The lights are flashing. The noise is booming. And Warrington have a response.
That's a really special finish in the corner from Josh Dinas. But once again, we'll see the setup. Just how easily been able to move the ball, how comfortable moving the ball. And then an absolute belter of a pass here from Kai Taylor-Ray. Just rifles it to his wingman. There's still some work to do. Williams, Taylor-Ray, that's a belter. And that's a great finish. Gets airborne. Gets the legs in the air. That's a great pass. And outstrips the St Helens defence. Owen Dagnall can do very little about that.
Wow. Have we seen a dull try tonight?
That's a really good finish.
Everything's been spectacular.
He never seems to do anything, Josh Ellis, without hurting himself. His face planted into the ground as he scored that. That was a cracker, that one.
Warrington's leading try scorer last year with 15, 13 of those in the Super League. He's up and running in the competition this year. And if nerves were building, that just settles them a little for the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, it's been a productive last 15 minutes for St Helens, culminating. They worked their way into it. Couple of near misses, couple of almost, and then a 60-second period that blew this game wide open. So, yeah, it is a significant score at a significant time for Warrington.
Sneakers rocking back. Two tries, 2 goals, the difference at the moment, so he wouldn't mind sticking this one over. It's a tough one from the touchline, but he has kicked it, and it is a 3-score lead. 4 successes from 5 attempts, 24 points to 10. Warrington now lead.
Well, try scored by Thewlis. Try assist by Kai Taylor-Ray, try generated by Danny Walker with a lovely piece of smart play around the ruck, which, by the way, get this for a stat, was their sole play the ball in the opposition half.
Mate, the play's been reviewed, okay? You make contact that is considerably late, causing high-level danger. There's considerable head flexion. Mate, you're in the bin.
Yellow card.
Leg tackle on the strike.
Amusingly, Jackson Hastings says, me?
What's that, mate? It's been reviewed in back play. It's a late tackle.
We've got Jack Wellsby off injured, nursing an injured shoulder, we think. Jackson Hastings has to sit down for 10 minutes for this, and it's late, and it's a shove, and that's absolutely the right call. That's absolutely the right call.
200th career appearance tonight, Jackson Hastings, his Super League debut for St Helens, and it's going to end in the dressing room. He's gone right down there, even though it is only a Sinbin who would be available for the last minute, or two and a bit minutes, but maybe he's decided that's his night gone. We shall see. Just looking to blast their way out of trouble again here. He's 5 consecutive defeats at the end of last season. It is a completely different mood here tonight.
Absolutely is. Just picking up on the work of Toby King tonight as well. He's been really, really busy. And he's very often, for such a physical centre, can drift in and out of games. I think, you know, if this game rather is a measure of how he's going to apply himself this season, he'll be a real problem for oppositions.
Well, all things being equal, Warrington would be up against the champions, Hawkinston Rovers, next week. But, of course, Hawkeye have a date with Brisbane Thursday night. You can see that on Sky Sports, that World Club Challenge, which means that Warrington get a week off, and that would be just an element of frustration, you would have thought, with the start they've made. They'd love to kick on again. But it's a fortnight before their next date. Wakefield at home, by the way. For St Helens, 14 points of difference. McDonald is busy.
And they've got more issues as well. Dion Cross is he's moving a little more freely now. I thought for a second there that Dion Cross was going to be the latest who succumbed to injury. Well taken by Smith, and then back on the inside to Roos, put in an absolute wow of a game. Kai Taylor-Ray.
Missed a lot of last season, one because he wasn't first choice, of course he wasn't Matt Duffy, but he also had a hamstring injury last year.
which for a player, look, you know, makes no secret of it. This is a game based around speed. A hamstring injury, they're seriously debilitating. Hasn't he announced himself this year?
Sickly. Walker picks up quick and smart, and Williams is on. 1 to go in this set. Sneed hunted down but kicks it away. Fent will leap off the ground to make that towering 6 foot out of his even taller. Sailor. It's a sobering night for St Helens, isn't it? I mean, we're not in any way going to be writing them off. They lost twice to Warrington last year, but still managed to get within 82 minutes of the grand final. But just a reassessment.
Well, I mean, you know, I think Paul Rowley being pragmatic about it. He won't be happy with the performance, of course. I think you need to give credit where credit's due. This has been a superb performance in the main from the Warrington Wolves, the side who all the boys said before the game had plenty to prove, but it's been built on actions like that. As much as we've seen and wondered at the finishing by Fulis and the breaks and the try by Kai Taylor-Ray, it's this sort of attitude that I think will please the coach the most.
It's a happy box.
Play the ball, lads, play the ball.
St Helens will go up against Lee, by the way, next week, and Lee, it sounds carouseling towards victory against Leeds in the other match tonight. So they started in 5. But what a start to the Super Leagues. I mean, York last night. Good heavens. What a result. What an occasion. Record attendance here tonight as well. Biggest crowd in this stadium, biggest crowd to watch rugby league in Warrington, as we mentioned earlier, for over half a century. And anybody who's been here in Primrose and Blue will want to be back, I'm sure. Sneed. They're having a party down on the terraces below us. Williams. Here's Taylor-Ray. Sneed, Sailor came at him, but a little step away, and then a lovely little dinky kick in, and there might be time for another here.
That's a good tackle. That's a really good tackle. That's a great vision from Mark Sneed. And Toby King was equal to it. He'd read what his halfback was doing. It's a good defensive effort by Felt, and he's left a mark on King as well.
He started the celebrations earlier with Toby King, but he's in strife there. The kick is alluring, but Lomax just happy to gather it in and concede the dropout when worse might have been on the cards.
Yes, really piece of quick thinking from Mark Sneed. And he's hauled down, dragged down, ball first, arms around the ball, great defensive play, but they find themselves having to defend another set. It's been relentless from the Wolves.
Again, they go short, and this time it very much pays off.
Here we go again.
Down with ball in hand. Scattering of bodies. Relentless effort by Warrington in defence. Shorrox. Sailor. Carrying, attempting. Clemmer with a charge. Last 3.5 minutes of the match remaining. Sailor again. Chip and a chase and a knockback, and Lomax helps it on, but should be gobbled up by the full-back, who's just hoping he could tease a touchline. Wasn't taken out of play, he somehow slithered between the grasp. Dummy half again. It's had a great night, hasn't he?
Real celebration of rugby, I think.
But not him in particular, Danny Walker tonight.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. I mean, look, the outline across the board. This has been 7s and 8s out of 10 for everybody in the team, and that's what we want. It's all very well and good. Someone having an absolute wonder of a game and it not being consistently represented across the park. Well, I think this has been a real team performance. Yeah, there's been some real standouts, of course, haven't they? But a really solid team performance in front of an absolutely bumper crowd, Dave.
Just over 15,000. They've squeezed as many in as they possibly can here tonight. St Helens fans have travelled in huge numbers. Warrington locals have turned up also in huge numbers. As a result, there's not a seat to be had.
Was it record 50 years?
52 years.
52 years.
1973, oddly, it was a game in a Challenge Cup.
I thought you were saying it's a game that you were commentating on.
Not far off, actually. Well, not commentating on, but it's a game that Featherstone won. They got to Wembley that year, and our beloved Dave Redford, who's a much-loved member of our staff, was in the Bradford side that got beaten at the Wembley final against Featherstone. Here is the pickup and a carry by Shorrops, and wider still it goes. Robertson's involved. Lomax, Sailor, and it's given away, and Fulis gratefully receives it, and Williams looking for the outside, decides he's not got the pace for that, but he might know a man who does. Hopperati brushes away one, steps away from another, and on this night of nights, a fabulous scores. Put that on the list. Alvin Hopperati. Footwork that was bewitching and bewildering. St Helens clutching at shadows. Warrington on the way to a big win.
Well, his first try, we were talking about the build-up, weren't we? The second he's made entirely himself. There's some significant signings have joined this Warrington side in the off-season. But I'll tell you what, Albert Okawate has put his name right up there as well. Saints overplaying, you can't blame him for that. It's where we are. Nice little pass out the back. It's still nothing on. Step inside and then that's sensational. Sensational. And he's a happy boy. And why not? What a finish. The young fans in here, they've come in their absolute droves this evening. And they've witnessed some special stuff, haven't they? Brilliant team performance. And capped off with some individual brilliance at times.
Well, there is going to be a review here.
Time off. Official review. He's reviewing if he's tackled before he's made contact with the ball. He's going to have a look. On Matt Whitley, he's going to look.
Let's see from the video referee.
He's having a look if he makes contact before he gets the ball.
Okay, we're just looking at the contact. Is the contact on Whitley prior to him being able to take possession of the ball by Hopperati? Okay, as you can see there, his right arm makes contact, and then if we go to camera 9, please. So we've already shown that his right arm makes contact, and his left arm also makes contact prior to Whitley being able to take possession of the ball. That's tackle without the ball. I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Oh, stop it. Hopperati's going to be denied.
Oh. Wait for this, by the way. Wait for the reaction to this. As Warrington fans from Party Central to Billy Buskill. Here we go. So he's restricted to just the one try tonight. Is he not just going for the ball? He's going for the ball.
He's wrapped his arms around the player. Yeah. I'll tell you, there's millimetres in it.
Before he gets the ball, it's a penalty.
There's millimetres in it. And well, so all that good work then, it won't go on any highlight reels. It's like it never happened, Dave.
Well, he's still got another one try tonight. He scored on his debut in the Challenge Cup last week against Sheffield. He's scored on his Super League debut here tonight. And I think overall he'll be very satisfied with what he's provided, but disappointed that that try will not be remembered.
How silky was the footwork. That was exceptional work.
Here's Clemmer.
Six again.
Jackson Hastings is coming back out, by the way. He's back on from the sidelines as Dion Cross is making good progress. Lomax helping it in on his way. Shorrocks sent back to 13 for the couple of minutes that remain. This is Hastings. Spins it to Shorrocks, and now it's Walmsley on the rampage, but not for long. Lomax, Hastings. Oh, there's a scattering of bodies. Whitley went end over end, and the referee does see it as a penalty.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Time's off.
It's Whitley, the man who takes a tumble. It's just, I'm not sure how deliberate that was. He kind of tripped over one another. It's Williams who goes inside. He actually ends up ducks inside Whitley. Just the legs clash. George Williams is trying his best to convince the referee it was an accident. But it's not going to change the outcome of the game, is it? And it's not going to change the rest of the evening for these Warrington fans. That's a sizable victory. Yes, we're round one. Yes, it's a long season, but all you can do in round one is make a statement, and they've done that.
Hastings again. Ball over the top, lovely pass, and Felt, grateful recipient on the end of that. Matters little to outcome, but at least it gives St Helens something to smile about at the end. Kyle Felt the scorer.
It was a great pass as well, good vision from Tristan Saylor. Well, I thought he had an outstanding debut season for Saints. Ever present in 2025, played in 3 different positions, was asked to play in 3 different positions, half one of them, and he finds the key pass there to Kyle Felt.
Tries confirmed. And the kick is wide. Might just be the last of it, although the referee has stopped the clock, so Warrington will have to kick off again. Sobering night for Paul Rowley on the sidelines. But as we keep saying, it is only round one. But try telling them that it's only round one and not to get too excited, because Warrington fans have been thrilled by what they've watched tonight. So a big hurled ball back to the middle. Belatedly, Rowley ball trying to attack from inside their own 10, but the smothering tackle will end the night. The wires are twitching with expectation. What a message. Line in the sand on 25 from their point of view. New beginnings, they hope, but a sobering night for St Helens, in which they have been, well, Taylor Ray, the star of the show, with a first half full of wonder from him and his side's point of view. They've done enough in the second.